G'day guys, welcome to my RXY's feature video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about NRL Round 19 recap preview for 2020. Guys, let's get started. So starting off with this first match of this game, we see the Rabbitohs going up against Bulldogs. Now, this game was pretty exciting by the Bulldogs because the first half in that match was pretty tight in that game, but the Rabbitohs didn't really execute very well. They were playing sloppy, terrible, and absolute obnoxious game of football. And the Rabbitohs were just struggling so much out there with so much potential. And, I know for a fact losing Latrell Mitchell is really hard for this club, and which that means Corey Allen didn't really play really well, but he kind of did, which I really accepted that review of that. But it was definitely 26 points to 16 scoreline, and definitely that game was absolutely really wonderful by the Bulldogs that just came out on top and obviously won this game for sure, because the Bulldogs aren't really a good team at the moment because they're sitting on, I think, 15th in the ladder, which that means 16th is the Broncos, and I think 14 would be Cowboys or something like that, which I probably wouldn't know anyway. So yeah, the Bulldogs are a really good team, and I just think they have really executed very well, and I reckon they have. But let's have a look at the Bulldogs' tries anyway. So what we have here is Tim Lafley, Remus Smith, Raymond Fatala-Mariner, and Chris Smith. Let's have a look at the Rabbitohs' tries anyway. So what we have here is Jackson Paulo, Campbell Graham, and Alex Johnston. And my player of the game went to number 2 from the Rabbitohs, Alex Johnston. I think he had a wonderful game out there. I know that the Rabbitohs didn't win that game, so I'm just going to say very wonderful play by Alex Johnston, and I'm just going to say the player of the game went to Alex Johnston anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Cowboys going up against Panthers. Now, this game was pretty good, I'd say. The Panthers, well, actually the Cowboys, they're just not going as planned at the moment, and I know for a fact that they aren't really executing very well, and I know that they have lost a couple of players out there due to injury and suspension and stuff like that, but it doesn't really give them an excuse to obviously lose a match anyway. But fortunately though, going up against Panthers have won, I think, 15 straight wins at the moment, and that's going to be really tight for them, obviously, going to as planned. But the Panthers really executed very well, and I hate to think that the Panthers really executed very well, and they obviously did. But 32 points to 12 was a really good scoreline, and I did tip the Panthers in that match. But this game was really tight out there, and I'm just going to have to say, well done for the Panthers anyway. But let's have a look at the Cowboys' tries anyway. So what we have here is Hamiso Tepuai-Fidel and Kyle Felt. And let's have a look at the Panthers' tries anyway. So what we have here is Brian To'o, Stephen Crichton, Josh Mansour, Jerome Luai, William Kikau, and Brent Naden. And my player of the game went to number 7 from the Panthers, Nathan Cleary. I think every single time I see this guy play, he has a wonderful game, and I reckon he'll make the Origin debut, or wait, not the Origin debut, but I reckon he will make the Origin in that game. But every single time he plays for the Panthers, he just goes out there, gets the job done, and he does not have any excuses but to get the job done for his club. But it was definitely 32 points to 12 anyway, and that game was definitely with the Panthers that obviously won against the Cowboys anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Eels going up against Broncos. Now, This game was pretty alright, pretty average, but another thing that really worried me was in the first half, the Eels didn't really execute very well in 20 or so minutes. And I was there at that game, so do check the vlog that I have been doing anyway. So definitely check that out. It's definitely RXY's feed 2 for my YouTube channel, so definitely check that out, and obviously subscribe to my YouTube channel because I have been to that stadium many of the times, but I have been to this game where the Eels take on Broncos. So this game was pretty much kind of alright, but the Eels didn't really go as planned because they didn't really play really well in a couple of 20 minutes in this game in the first half. But the Broncos, they were playing really sloppy defense, and every single time they do, I just think the Broncos are just going to have a horrible season, because I know for a fact that Darius Boyd's playing his 338 matches, which I think that is so much games that he's going to play, but he's going to play his one last game, and then he's going to retire anyway, so he's not going to play anymore, which I think that Darius Boyd definitely needs to retire anyway, because he is getting old. But it's definitely 26 points to 12 in that scoreline, and I did tip the Eels. But let's have a look at the Eels tries anyway. So what we have here is Blake Ferguson, Mike Osevo, Clint Gutherson that scored 2 tries, and Jai Field. And let's have a look at the Broncos tries anyway. So what we have here is David Fafita and Herbie Farnworth. And my player of the game went to number 1 from the Parramatta Eels, Clint Gutherson. I just think he has a wonderful game out there. Every single time he plays for the Eels, he does not give up. He always puts in solid effort, but doesn't really put in a lot of sort of solid effort sometimes, but I know for a fact he does, and he doesn't give up. So my player of the game went to number 1, Clint Gutherson from the Parramatta Eels anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Manly Sea Eagles going up against the Titans. Now, I tell you, this game was definitely solid, but I was wrong. I tipped the Manly Sea Eagles over the Titans in this game, which I obviously think that it was pretty much alright, but this game was pretty tight in that game, and Tom Trbojevic got injured in this match, which he basically returned in the reserves and definitely played in that game in the number 21 jersey. But now he's definitely injured, and replacing him will be Tafita Funa in the number 1 jersey for the Manly Sea Eagles. So we won't see Tom Trbojevic in that game, which he will be in the State of Origin side, so go and check that out anyway. Definitely 42 points to 24 on our scoreline, and this one was a massive margin by the Titans in this game. But let's have a look at the Manly tries anyway. So what we have here is Jack Jasewski that scored 2 tries, Tanila Paseka and Daly Cherry Evans. So let's have a look at the Titans tries anyway. So what we have here is AJ Brimson that scored 2 tries, Corey Thompson, Young Tonomapia that scored 2 tries, Sam Stone, Kevin Proctor, and Trayman Spree. And my player of the game went to number 4 from the Gold Coast Titans, Young Tonomapia. I think he had a wonderful game. Every single time he plays for his club, always gets the job done. And the weeks ago, they were struggling so much, but with him, he really put the job done out there, and he really put it on the line. So really great job by you. And yeah, the player of the game went to Young Tonomapia, which I think that played a wonderful game, and also scored 2 tries by the Titans. Well done from him, but 42 points to 24 in that scoreline anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Storm going up against the Tigers. Now, this game was really... that Tigers played alright in that game, which I thought to myself, the first half didn't really go as planned by the Tigers, which led to the Melbourne Storm scoring so many tries, and I just thought to myself, the Tigers didn't really play as well, but in the second half in that game, they were coming up firing, but they didn't really get the job done in that game. But definitely 50 points to 22 for that scoreline, and the Melbourne Storm really killed it out there, and they were just too good for the Tigers. They obviously got the job done in this match. But the Storm, Addo-Carr, Justin Olam played solid, absolutely solid, and I know for a fact that the Melbourne Storm always put in a hard job out there, but sometimes though they do lose Addo-Carr, Justin Olam, I think Ryan Papenhuyzen, Suliasi Vunivalu due to state of origin, injury, or suspension, but that doesn't really matter anyway, because the Storm won against the Tigers. So let's have a look at the Storm tries anyway. So what we have here is Suliasi Vunivalu that scored 2 tries, Josh Addo-Carr that scored 2 tries, Nico Hines, Jerome Hughes, Justin Olam, Cameron Smith, and Tino Fasua Malaawi. And let's have a look at the Tigers tries anyway. So what we have here is Asu Kapawa that scored 2 tries, Josh Aloye and Adam Dewey. And my player of the game went to number 5 from the Melbourne Storm, Josh Addo-Carr in that game. Wonderful job by him, and 50 points to 22 anyway. Definitely a really good matchup by Josh Addo-Carr and the whole team in that squad. The next game of that match, we see the Roosters going up against the Sharks. Now, this game was pretty solid by the Roosters, and I know for a fact that the Roosters were getting the absolute job done in this game because they put in a solid effort each time they do, and I know that the Roosters always put in the hard work in that game, and they usually do, but they obviously did. 34 points to 18 and a really solid scoreline in that game. But the Sharks, they need to have some solid work in that players review, because the Sharks are really struggling in this game, which there's no Sean Johnson and there's no Chad Townsend and there's no halfback to replace him in this game, which I thought to myself that in this match I knew that Sean Johnson was going to get injured in this game, because if Sean Johnson was going to get injured, I thought Braden Trindle was going to be in that squad for next week's match. But apparently, it's Wade Graham replacing him in the number 6 jersey. I cannot believe that. But I will definitely tell you that in my next video of the tips anyway. So let's have a look at the Sharks tries anyway. So what we have here is Siasafa Talakai, Ronaldo Molitalo, and Braden Hamanueli. And let's have a look at the Roosters tries anyway. So what we have here is Mitchell Orbison that scored 2 tries, Daniel Tupou, Luke Keary that scored 2 tries, and Joseph Manu. And my player of the game went to number 4 from the Sydney Roosters, Mitchell Orbison. I think he had a wonderful game, and yeah, well done from you for making a 303 game in your career. And yeah, I reckon you're going to have a wonderful career playing for the Roosters. But yeah, you're a great player that just gets the job done, and I'll just say well done from you for making 2 tries, and a really good job by the Roosters for making a really good solid effort to make 34 points to 18 for that win against the Sharks. The next game of that match, we see the Raiders going up against Warriors. Now, this game was pretty alright. The Raiders didn't really prove that they were going to get the solid effort in this match, but 26 points to 14, really solid but tight scoreline in this game. And I really obviously thought that in this match that the Warriors didn't really play a solid effort in this game. And the Warriors don't really do, because I know that they are struggling with players and the players don't really do much of effort in this game and the players' squad. But yeah, really solid effort by the Raiders, and they were coming out on top in, like, say, next 20 minutes or 40 minutes in that match. But the Raiders didn't really struggle in this game. They were coming on top and they played a really solid game in this match. So let's have a look at the Warriors' tries. Anyway, so what we have here is the only try in that game was Peter Hiku that scored 2 tries. So let's have a look at the Raiders' tries. So what we have here is Jarek Froker, Semi Valimi that scored 2 tries, Hudson Young, and Nick Kotrick. And my player of the game went to number 2 from the Canberra Raiders, Semi Valimi. He doesn't really play a really good game, but he obviously did. That obviously scored 2 tries in this match. Really solid effort by you, and I just think wonderful game for you. That just made a really solid effort by your club, and 26 points to 14 was a really solid scoreline that obviously beaten the Warriors anyway. And last but certainly not least, we see the Knights going up against Dragons. Now, this game was pretty much a solid effort, and the Dragons didn't really play as much well as they usually do. But Corey Norman is not a good player at the moment, because I have heard a lot of things about him, because he played for the Eels and he didn't do well in the season. Now he did play for Broncos, he played for Dragons, and he played for Broncos, he played for Eels, and he played for Dragons. So I don't know what he's going to do, if he's just going to be so, not cooperative for the club, and I don't think he will. But in this game, though, he played alright, but he only played 50% in this game, and I just don't think he played a really solid effort. But 42 points to 18 was really solid in this game by the Newcastle Knights, and the Newcastle Knights don't really play as much solid effort as they usually do. But anyway, at least they got the job done. Let's have a look at the Dragons' tries anyway. So what we have here is Zach Lomax that scored 2 tries, and Corey Norman. And let's have a look at the Knights' tries anyway. So what we have here is Kalen Ponga, Jimit Shibasaki, Aiden Guerra, Daniel Saifidi, and Nari Tuala that scored 2 tries, and Jacob Saifidi. And my player of the game went to, I think, number 2 or number 3 or 4 in this match, Nari Tuala. I think he had a wonderful game, and I reckon he did, so I'm just going to say you're my player of the game. And I just think you had a wonderful game that really made a solid effort, and obviously scored 2 tries in this game that made a really good margin, that made 42 points to 18 to beat the Dragons anyway. Thanks guys for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. I will be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, I'll be doing more videos coming to you guys soon, so stay tuned for more. Plus, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care guys, stay safe, and have a good one. Plus, let's get up to 200 subscribers. We're sitting on 175 anyway, so let's get up to that, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.